I got by the light. I got wrapped up like a deuce. Another runner in the night. I got by the light. I got wrapped up like a deuce. Another runner in the night.
Well, it's time to jump back on the OBS Shortbed Silverado. I've been switching back and forth from project to project. I got 3 of them at the same time. I got that Camaro, the Mustang, and this here. So it's time for the OBS short some love. Which I already done the roll pan, and I shaved the handle, and did the SS wing. I have them videos down in the description, and I'll also have them popping up. But this Bodywork should be a breeze because it ain't nothing major. I see a little ding here and a ding there, but it ain't no major dents. I know I gotta straighten this out because Southern Chevy TV, he said he had dinged it up when he was putting the cow hood on. What you could see, it's been sitting outside because I had some in the booth because it got tree sap and leaves everywhere. But we're gonna take care of that before we start finding all the dings and dents because we have to clean it up first. We can't find them with all this tree sap on. So that's what we're gonna do first. We're gonna clean it up, get these leaves out the bed. Then we'll find the dings and dents. Alright, we got it cleaned up. Now we can see the imperfections and the dings and dents a lot better now. But before we tackle that, I'm going to tell you everything that we're going to be doing to this here. This whole grill is going to get replaced. He already got 2 new ones. He got a GMC and he got another Chevy. But it's going to be color matched. The same color as the truck. Also the bumper. We're going to color match the bumper. He got a new bumper, paintable. And we're going to delete the chrome trim, fender well trim. Delete the side molding. We're going to color match the mirrors. Color match the handles. We're going to delete the Silverado badge. And I'm thinking that's it for us. The outside. But you can see when I had took this molding here off, you can see where it was, I guess the moisture got behind it and it was bubbling up. Pretty sure it ain't nothing but surface rust, but I'm gonna have to sand all this here down first. And we're gonna repair this. And it's pretty much probably gonna be on all the molding. Like this here, you can see it. But we're gonna go around the truck and mark all the dings that we see first. This little chips here, we're gonna mark them. We're just gonna mark it with a red Sharpie. And how you find the dings and dents, you gotta look at it at an angle. But we're gonna mark them first, and then we're gonna come back and put some water on it. And that water bring out a lot of dings and dents. But I don't see too many, so I'm gonna get started on that. Then we'll move on to the next step. But you can see right here, we're gonna have to fix that. chipped up. Sand it down, remove that surface rust. I'm not sure if you're seeing it like I'm seeing it through the camera, but it's one right here. So we're gonna mark that one. I think that's it right there, them 3. Also some chips here. So we're just gonna put a little circle around the chips. It's a little spot here. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like it's a perfect circle. Like it was a hole drilled out and maybe an antenna or something used to be right here. But I'm gonna have to sand it down to inspect it because you can see it's coming up. Also a little crack there. Since we finished up with the markings, what we got to do the body work, it's time to take everything apart. We want everything off so we can get a clean paint job. That's including the mirrors, the handles, the molding, and this whole front. I done started taking this front off. I got the headlights there. About to take the grill off. Antenna. Guess we're gonna go on and get that started. Then I'll cut you back on. And you can see where all that moisture was just sitting back there behind that molding. All that's gonna have to be sanded down to bare metal. Good thing it was caught before it got any worse. Alright, I pretty much got everything taken off that I need to. Now you can see what its molding was. It started to rust out. That's going to be my first concern, taking care of that. But you can see I got the handles, emblems, some of the molding. I'm going to take this out once I get ready to paint it because I don't want to take it out yet. Because I don't want for it to start leaking. Also gonna take this off. Got the fender trim out, the grill, bumper, the mirrors. Also some of this stuff on the inside. I took the door panel off, the door vent. Some of this, I took the weather stripping off that was right here. And it was missing this piece. But I got all the stuff over here. Show it to you. This the piece that was missing on the driver's side. Got the grill, the bumper there, the door panels, vents, the third brake light, handles, tow hooks, windshield wipers, tail lights, headlights. Well, them ain't the headlights. The mirrors and the fender trim. So now I'm just gonna put it down there closer to the booth. Then we'll start addressing this here. I think we're gonna go at it with some 80 grit on the DA. Try to sand it down to bare metal. See how quick that go. Alright, we're gonna tackle this first. This part back here on the bed. So now you can see, let me get this putter knife. So I can just peel all this up with this putter knife. And that's what we need to do. We need a solid foundation. We need to peel it up until it stops flaking. Then we can feather edge the rest. And I got some 80 grit on the DA. So we just gonna do that. Once I get it where it stops flaking, I'll cut you back on. It's taking me a lot longer than what I thought with this putter knife. But I'm just gonna skip this putter knife and just jump to a flap disc on the grinder, on the angle grinder. Some of it ain't coming up as easy as I thought, but we need to get all this up because we don't want to paint on top of it, because it'll just do the same thing like it's doing now. So I'm just going to use this flap disc on this angle grinder and just hit it, and then I'll come back and feather edge it with 80 grit on the DA. You can see it had been bundled before, so somebody previous came back and I guess it was rusted out and put some bundle in it, but that moisture just made it reoccur, because you can see the bundle here. See, that's a lot quicker doing it with that flap disc. So let me finish on up, then once I get it cleaned up, I'll cut you back on. Now I got it pretty clean. I'll take my 80 grit on the DA and rough up the outer edges of it and feather edge it, because I'm gonna put a skim coated filler in it just to build it up to the existing paint. And we want that filler to be able to stick to this outer part also. So when I feather edge it, it'll be good. See, this ain't feather edge here. You can see what this is. So let me take care of that. Then I'll probably just do the whole side and the other side. Then I'll cut you back on once I clean all that up. I had feather edge with the 80 grit. You can see it's feather edge now. So now I just gotta put some lightweight filler on it. Well, light skim coated filler on it. Build it back up. But I also started on this side here. And you can see where it started to pit at. I just hit this one good time with the flap disc. But I gotta hit it some more. I just wanted to show it to you before I hit it again. I gotta clean them pitted areas up. I just wanted to show you what it's looking like after cleaning up everything. I had went back and feather edged everything. Take it around to the other side. I blew it off also. Before I move on now, I'm just gonna go around where I marked everything. I'm just gonna sand it down, scuff it up. But where the rust coming in at, I'm gonna sand it down to bare metal. But like spots like this, I'm just gonna scuff it up so the filler bed will stick. These areas here, just gonna scuff them up. I ain't gonna sand it down to bare metal. Just where the chips at, I sand it down to bare metal, clean it up. But everything else, like right here, I'm just gonna scuff it up. Let me take care of that. This gonna have to be sanded down to bare metal. I started looking into this here. I had dug some of it out on this top. Like I said before, it's a hole here because I could tell where the fiberglass, well not fiberglass, the regular filler is just cracked. They should have put some, well they actually should have welded it and then put some fiberglass filler on it. It would have been a lot stronger. But it looked like they just put some regular body filler in it and it's so thick and it just started cracking. So I'm going to sand the rest of this out so I can see. Now you can see where the hole was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the antenna there. So let me clean it on up. Then I'll just weld another little plate in here. Then I come back with some fiberglass fill on top of it. Smooth it on out. I got the fiberglass on it now. I'm finna sand this down. Then I'll be ready to put some regular body fill on it. Alright, got to sand it down with 80. Let me show you what I'm going to be using. I got my mixing board. I'm going to be using this lightweight filler on the little small imperfections. But where that molding was, I'm just using regular filler, Evercoat. So let me go on and mix it up, then I'll start spreading. Got all my areas white with filler. So I got regular body filler here at the bottom. And this some lightweight glazing putty, 2-part. And where them chips was, I just took my finger, wiped some filler in that. Got a spot wiped here. Now it's time to start sanding. As you can see, I got all my tools back here. Everything I'm gonna need. These here was just scratches, but I'm pretty sure I could block them out once I prime it, but I just wiped some. There was some left over. I started sanding this up here, but let me show you everything I got back here. I got my Dura blocks, different sizes. I also got a paint stick stir with some sandpaper wrapped around it, the old school way. And I'm gonna use this as my bundle buster, just to knock it down some. This is a DA, this is not a grinder. A lot of folks think it's a grinder. This here is a grinder. See, this spins one way, but this spins 2 ways, so you can't knock no body filler down with this because you're gonna be cutting into it real bad. Now I got my inline sign. I probably don't use that. I'm just gonna bust the fill up with this. Then I start blocking it by hand. I'm just gonna knock it down just to, you know, because that top layer, it'd be a lot harder than that bottom layer. Once you knock that top layer down, it's easy to go ahead and start blocking it. So that's what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna have some 80 grit on it, which I already got a new sheet on it. Then I just start going all the way around the truck, knocking it down some. Then I start blocking it by hand. This is what it looked like before I knock it down some. Just wanted to show it to you, and then I'll cut you back on once I hit it with this 80 grit. Here you go. I just knocked that top layer fill off. You don't want to try to get it, because you ain't going to be able to get it flat with this DA. You just want to knock that top layer off, then you do it by hand with the block. But let me take you back here and show you what we're going to be using. I'm going to use this Dura block here. I got some 180 on it. 180 grit. We're just going to take it over here and start blocking it. But before we actually block it, we're going to grab this flat black spray paint and put a guide coat on it. It's going to show us all our highs and lows. So let me do that. Alright, we're going to let that sit up for a minute or two. Once it dry, then we'll be good to go. Alright, I finished up doing all the knocking it down and the guide coat. Let me take you around the truck. Now it's ready to be hit with the 180 on the block. I didn't put no guide coat on this because it's such of a small area. Or the chips, I didn't put no guide coat on that neither. And this up here, I didn't guide coat this neither. But I'm ready to go ahead and start blocking now. I'm just going to go in an X pattern, back and forth. So I remove all the guide coat. You can see I got to bring this filler down because it's a low area. You still see some guide coat. This a low area here. But that's all I got to do, just bring that guide coat down so you don't see no guide coat. I done got this area here taken care of, but I don't know if you'll be able to see where the filler at. It's a small little, maybe size of a, not even size of a dime, but it's right here. It was just a small ding, but all this here is flat. Right here, it was somewhere high. That's why it's getting into the primer, but it's good and flat now. Yeah, you can see the filler right now. So I'm just going to take care of the rest of this here, blocking it. Then I'll be ready to shoot my first round of primer. I done blocked everything with the 180 on the block. Now I'm just going back, hitting this part up here, because I didn't sand this part and it's still glossy. So you want to sand this before you start priming, because that overspray, it's going to get up in here when I spray this. So you want that primer something, you want to have that primer something to bond to. So I'm stuffing this up here. And also on down to the bottom of the door. And once I do that, I'm going to get a maroon Scotch-Brite and I'm going to hit like inside of here, inside the jams, because the overspray is going to get inside the jams also. I'm just trying to get that primer something to bond to, because if you don't, the overspray is just going to sit on top of that gloss and then it'll start chipping in time. Once I finished scuffing all that up with the maroon Scotch-Brite, I had went on and cleaned the truck a little so I could sand this down, because I got to scuff this up also, because I'm going to be painting this. I'm going to be priming and spraying. I'm going to spray the white seal on it also. But I'm going to scuff it up with 180 on the DA. And just up in these areas here, I just use a maroon Scotch-Brite on my hand. Then I wash it up again, then I pull it in the booth. I'll probably go on and scuff this up too and spray this again, because it looks like it got some, either that's tree sap with dust built up on it. It's something, but I'll go ahead and scuff that up. Just finished washing it up. She ready for the booth now. Put it on in the booth. I had wiped it down. I'm letting it dry off some now before I start masking. Then once it dry, I start masking the windshield, the sunroof, and the door glass, which I'm not gonna be spraying nothing up here, but I'm just gonna mask it off anyway. And put the tire covers on. And where you see where it's shining at, I'm not gonna even prime that or seal it at all. I'm just gonna, when I get ready to paint it, I just scuff that up with some 320 or wet sand with 400. But you can see the scuff marks from the DA. That's just so the primer has something to burn too. Alright, let me take care of that. Alright, got it masked off. Got the front plastic. And my glass, I just masked right here because I'm going to be spraying somewhere up in here. But right here I just put some paper and plastic over it because I'm not going to be spraying nowhere right here. And I masked the sunroof off partially. And this back glass because I'm going to be spraying right here. And I'm just going to spray the high beam on these areas here first. And once I get all my repair spots sprayed, I'm going to go back and block that. Then I'll come back with the sealer, the white sealer over it. Let me go ahead and mix this prime up. finished up with the primer. I've been letting it sit out here. I did this yesterday. It's been sitting out overnight. Now it's good to go ahead and start blocking it. But I'm going to put a guide coat on it first. I had put some flat black spray paint as a guide coat when I was blocking the filler. I like to do things different, show you different ways in my video. Now I'm going to use a dry guide coat, which I already done put it down right here. It's a dry guide coat here. You just got an applicator. You just rub it on your areas like this here. But you can also use just that flat black spray paint if you ain't got none of this here. Which I prefer the flat black spray paint. But I'm going to go ahead and start blocking this once I put all the guide coat on. Then I'll cut you back on. You can see I done coated everything with the dry guide coat. I done do like little small areas like this here because it's pretty much flat anyway. It's like this hood. It's level, it's flat, so I didn't guide coat it. I'm just going to scuff it back up before I shoot my primer sealer. But what I'm using here is 180, same thing I used when I did the not primer, but the filler. Using 180 on a Durablock. And I'm just going to be going the same way in the X pattern, back and forth. Now you can see this here is a low area here. So I got to keep bringing it down. You see it's coming down. Now it's pretty much flat. I still see a little bit, but I'm going to bring it on down some more. But that's how you use the guide coat. Let me get you caught up. I pretty much got everything done for us to blocking. I had to go back and touch up a few spots like this here. I had seen a little, it was a minor little ding. I probably could have got it out with the a little blocking, but I just went on and put some little 2-part glaze and put on it, waiting for it to dry. Then I sand that. I still got to block this area here and this area, but pretty much everything else been blocked. There's two little areas over here that I had when I was blocking. I had sanded down to the actual body filler, so I sprayed a little more primer here to fill up them pinholes. Also right there. That should be dry. I'll go ahead and block that. Then I'm thinking I done did the top. Thinking it should be all. Then once I finish that, I'll blew everything off, then wipe it back down, then I'll be ready to shoot my primer sealer. Got everything wiped down, ready to shoot the primer sealer. We walked around the car with the truck. Like I said, I'm just going to be shooting the spots that I repaired and the hood. I didn't even bother about doing nothing to the like this part that was good. I'm just going to sand that, wet sand it, or scuff it up when I get ready to paint it. But the rest of it, that's why I'm shooting a white sealer, because the truck is white, so it'll blend in real good. Alright, let me mix this sealer up, then I'll cut you back on. Alright, I'm finished with the primer sealer. I put 2 coats on the hood and everywhere else, but 3 coats down here where I did the repairs along the rocker panel. Once it flashed off some more, I'll pull the masking off and take it outside, give you a better look at it.
Nobody really gave a damn about us. We never stopped.